Welcome back, this is M-Dog, and we are fishing here at Sura River. We are actually hoping to catch some silver carp. We have not caught any yet, but that is the hope. It is currently 17:41 here at Sura local time, 24.3 degrees. It always runs a little hot here at Sura. This is especially on the hot side. We are at a 22-meter clip, casting sort of right to the right of that little pathway there, just kind of right over there towards the middle of the island that's in front of us. And for what it's worth, we are fishing with the pellets we're using are Old Pal grass cake, Mad Myers spring herbs, fresh grass dip with the following PVA. We are using 20 ground bag. Everything is the same on all three setups, except that I'm using a 4/0 hook on the third setup. So just trying to see if we can't get our trophy. So this is one of those trophies that I've just kind of gone for every once in a while. It's the final part of stage 5. Where you have to catch a silver carp using a hair rig. So that's why typically when you see people fishing for silver carp, it is with classic hair rig. Actually, let's see, I might not be remembering right. There might be lots of options. Yeah, it actually can be all of these are considered hair rigs. I guess silver carp just typically do better with the classic hair rig, because I think this is typically what we see. You don't see pop-ups that often going for silver carp, although as you can tell, I don't go for silver carp that often. I don't have a trophy. But yeah, hopefully we'll start getting some bites here, especially as it gets towards evening and then maybe first thing in the morning. So the hope here is to get some nice silver carp and maybe get lucky on a trophy. Looks like we might have our first bite coming in, so I will not pause the recording just yet in case this turns into a pretty quick bite. You know, I was, when I first started using this option where we can pause the recording while I'm making the video, my first thought was like, oh, well, I don't want to do that all the time. I still want to have some videos where I am, hey, it's a silver carp. I want to still have some videos where I'm, talking more and just kind of letting you see the full experience of the bite rate and all that. But what it actually has allowed me to do, like days like today, where I have had a really long day of work. I am tired, I'm a little stressed, just what happens sometimes at work, right? Well, with the ability to pause now, I don't feel as much pressure to feel like, okay, I've got to have high energy or I've got to, be talking or whatever for the next hour and 15 minutes. This video might just end up being 20 minutes long. I mean, we'll see. Because I'm going to pause, I'm going to be able to catch my breath. The other thing it's allowed me to do, and this is maybe even more important, is I would not have normally made a video about fishing for silver carp. It's too slow a bite rate. It's just boring. But now that I have this opportunity to pause the video, now it's something I might consider doing sometimes, going for fish that aren't quite as active. All right, let's see what we have on the middle rod here. So we're a couple of fish in. It has been some time though. This is, I mean, as you expect with silver carp, this kind of spot. By the way, this is not a silver carp. You expect a slower bite rate, and that is exactly what we're getting so far. We are getting a nice slow bite rate, but if you want to get the challenge done, you got to come do this, and you may have to do it several times. So it's just part of chasing some of these trophies, right? All right, let's see what we got here on line 1. I keep figuring out that this is the first fish we've caught on this line, and I can tell because our friction brake is so low, so it's pulling line out even though it's not that big of a fish. All right, that appears to be another silver. So we've caught 2 silvers and 1 common. Common feels like it'll be bycatch. Usually big head carp. That's a nice silver. Nice XP. It'll be decent silver for the silver. But oftentimes you see big headed carp. I was actually kind of surprised here at Sura to see the common pop out, but you know, I guess they can. So it's always interesting to see what the bycatch is going to be on these silver spots. Yeah, this is this is fascinating. This is allowing me, it has been 35 minutes since the first fish, 25 minutes since our second fish we caught. It is now 8:52 in the morning. And I think we just had 2 fish bite at the same time. We did. So very strange. Like, I guess if you fish here long enough, maybe you start to see some patterns on exactly what's going on with these silver carp. But I mean, obviously there's no way without, you know, just being able to having the option of making this short video. Like, we will have fished here for an hour. I will have fished here for an hour. And yet, thankfully, this video is going to be under 10 minutes. Unless I decide to, you know, keep it rolling longer, unless things start really getting juicy, spicy, which I just don't anticipate. So, yeah, the power of pause. But, I mean, we are seeing some silver carp here. Like, I get that you can catch silver carp here. I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning, but my whole reason for coming back to this spot was I saw that Sergey Kites posted on VK just a little while ago. Here it is. What's the date? March 26th. About an hour ago, they posted catching a trophy silver in this spot. So, you know, they only caught 1, 2, 3, 4. They're only showing 6 fish in their net. So it's not like it was a great bite rate, but they did catch the trophy. So that's just going to be that RNG factor, right? And so I wanted to come and just see what would be the largest silver we would catch. Right now it's this 9.37. Just how bad is the bite rate? Answer is it's very bad. So just kind of checking things out. We are nowhere near that trophy size at this point, which I don't remember, but I mean, I'm seeing that his trophy silver was 26 point something. So I'm guessing it's like, it might be 25. I don't know. I could look it up, but I don't know. I'm not going to right now, but maybe I will before the next fish bites. If the next fish bites, I mean, at some point it's going to be full daytime and it's going to slow down to a crawl again. So we'll see. Oh, there we go. I love it. The third line, notoriously, every time I'm getting close to like pausing the video, the third line gets the sudden activity going. I don't know. It might just be there's a really small fish on there. Yeah, it looks like there is. Or it was just sitting there. I mean, it's not a tiny fish, but it's by no means a trophy silver carp. It is... Oh, is that a big head? Hey, there's our bycatch. So finally we got a little bycatch here. We had that common carp early on. But that's what you expect to be bycatches. Big head, right? Yeah, I think we should just like go a little bit longer. But I'm not too far away from wrapping this up. We're at 6 fish. I think we have a fish on here. But it's very small. This is what I was afraid of during the daytime. Even if we do still catch fish, they're not going to be the most exciting. Not going to be the most exciting silver carp. Yikes. It is amazing. Like, I know there was a cut there because I paused it just briefly, but I'll show you the time difference. Like, I threw this rod back in the water after the last little fish we caught, and it was an almost immediate thing. It started getting nibbles. I mean, it was so quick. So there was less than a minute between at least when the nibbles started, I think. It was very, very fast. We're on a roll right now on this first rod. Like, we've caught 3 fish in a row on the first rod, and they've all been pretty close together. But because of the time of the day, they're not the most spectacular fish. Oh, finally we're getting a bite on the middle rod. So what I'm kind of figuring out here, bite rate's actually a little better than I was expecting. We're still within the hour limit. I mean, overnight it was like 0, right? So I mean, that was the 25-minute gap. Was most of that was during the overnight hours. But what I'm actually seeing is, like, during the middle of the day, we're getting a decent bite rate, but you don't see big fish in the middle of the day typically. So it's like this weird situation. Are we more likely to get that rare RNG of a trophy hitting in the middle of the day? Or are we more likely to get that rare RNG of actually catching a fish at all, either early in the morning or late in the afternoon, early evening? I don't really know, but it's just kind of weird right now. So now we're getting so much for less than 10-minute video. Although, yeah, we're still just at 46 minutes. So, I mean, I feel like we want to at least give a spot an hour to see what a full hour is like there. This is the first fish we've caught on the third rod in quite a while. The only difference here is I have a little bit larger hook on this rod. We've got a 4/0 hook, which doesn't seem to be helping. But everything else is the same here. We're still at 22-meter clip. We're still using the same bait, same PVA. Everything else is the same. Ooh, 2 bites in a row. I'm telling you, like, look at this. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, this daytime bite rate has not been shabby. I think the fish is already on there. Okay. How's it going? This is just an angry big head, though. That's what you call trying to prepare yourself for, not the worst, but I mean, think about on this kind of setup, like if this was a trophy silver carp, or, I mean, goodness, certainly if it was a trophy big head, but that thing would just be running and running. We would feel like we would have like a huge fish on, at least for a few moments. Hopefully we would eventually get it under control. But between the current and between the shape of these fish and the limitations of the carp leader and lead core we're having to use, I mean, this is a pretty nice fish though, middle of the day. Uh-oh. It better not pop off here at the last second, especially before we see what it is. It is bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. All right, first of all, it is a silver carp, right? Way bigger silver carp than I was expecting to catch here in the middle of the day like this. 17.7. That's a nice silver carp. I actually won't be surprised if that's a region record. We'll see, but I mean, how many people in the US region are actually fishing for silver carp this week? It's still like midweek, so this is also a reasonably good fish. Yeah, there we go. Weekly record silver carp. I knew it. I knew I could count on the US region not fishing for many silver carp. Another nice one. Oh my goodness. It's fish after fish after fish right now. Is that fish already on, by the way? All right, 25 kilos is trophy. I never answered the question, but 25 kilos is what trophy size is. So it is 4:32. Had a little bit of a pause there in the bite rate. You can see we're getting a little bit of action now again as we start pressing down towards the end of this 1 hour session. I knew I picked that up too fast, and in a spot like this you do not want to pick up a rod too fast and ruin your bite rate. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully we'll still catch the fish. But I mean, we're at 14 fish in just under an hour, which for the beginning of this video, like I did not think we would get to that point. I thought it would be way under that point, but who knows? We'll see. So 55 minutes. I did in fact scare the fish off the middle rod, it appears. But thankfully we're getting another bite here on the first rod. Add one more fish to the mix. And we've got less than 5 minutes to see how this is going to wrap up here. Really trying not to mess with this middle rod. It once again has a bite. I think it actually has a fish on now. So let's see what we have here. The middle rod is the one that had the biggest fish, I believe. And the second biggest might have been on the third rod. But all three have ended up, unlike some sessions where you feel like one or two rods really do the majority of the work. I actually think that as slow as this has been, which has been fairly slow, it's been pretty spread through all three, which is nice. It's a cool little change. Pain train with a trophy Asian smelt. That's a nice fish. Okay. We're getting a couple more bites. We actually have gone 2 minutes over 1 hour, but I was just wanting to get, you know, at least one more fish. And it looks like we're actually going to get two more because we've had two last fish come on here right at the end. So let's get these out of the water. Hopefully this will be a nice last fish. This is actually going to be our 18th fish, which is cool. And then we'll go see how well we did. And we've gone just over an hour, 18 fish. Once again, the middle rod does not disappoint. Comes in with a decent sized fish. Is it a silver though? Yes, I believe it is. Yeah. It's actually a pretty decent one, 7.5. All right. I'll see you back at town. All right, we are back in town. Let's see how we did. So just over an hour fishing, 281 silver. That's not a bad silver amount considering how slow it felt. We also, this is perfect, get this 30 silver for a common carp. So that was very fortunate. And we still get 276. So if we sort by weight, a 58 silver carp is what we have there coming in at 17.7 kilos. So not bad. Not the trophy we were looking for, but pretty cool spot right now. Sometimes silver carp are hard to come by, and right now at least they are catchable. Just got to get that really nice RNG and land that trophy if that's what you're after. But I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for being here. Let me know if you're after any silver carp, and I will see you next time. Tight lines.